What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and the Cavs have been a mixed bag to start the season, but I really like how they're using Kyle Korver in their offense nonetheless, and when he's on the floor, he's an integral part of their offense. The Cavs have been 15.3 points per possession better per 100 possessions with Korver on the court versus when he's off the court. While a lot of that is versus second units, the Cavs are winning the minutes Korver is on the floor, and when we watch the film, it's not hard to see why. The Cavs do a good job of finding Korver, including in transition. So on this play, no defender picks up Korver, which is a mistake, but it happens. So Jeff Green pins in the closest defender, allowing Korver to get off a three. Actively trying to get the ball to any shooter is important, and this is a good example. As the second Tristan Thompson crosses half court, he notices no one has picked up Korver, so he sets a screen trying to free him up, and then Korver does a nice job of reading the right side of the floor is completely open, so he cuts to that open area, and he also cuts there because Tristan Thompson turns that screen into a bit of a flare screen, so Korver cuts the open spot and gets the open three. Before I get to how Korver is utilized in the half court, I must go over the top block defensive strategy, which is a very common strategy to defend pin downs. On this play, the Cavs are on defense, and the Knicks will run Courtney Lee off a pin down, and to defend it, Korver will use the top block defensive strategy where he'll position himself to deny Lee's path to using that pin down. Fry sags a bit to defend the backdoor cut, and they stop that pin down from occurring. Okay, back to Korver, and in early offense, occasionally the Cavs will set a pin down for him to try to get an open shot for him. Here he comes off the pin down, and while he's not open, notice how when he passes it off, he keeps on moving. Here, it's by setting a ball screen for LeBron, and LeBron goes away from the screen and dishes out to Fry for the three. Here it's Love who sets the pin down, and the defense performs top block. Jason Terry will get in position between Korver and Love to prevent that path, but the good news is Korver has a counter. He sets a screen on John Henson, Love's man, allowing Love to pop out to the three-point line, though here Terry does a nice job of realizing what is happening and he contests Love at the last second. But that pin-in screen by Korver has worked in the past, and it's a good counter to top block. They'll use a pin down or here a double staggered screen, and Tim Hardaway tries to top block Korver, but he doesn't quite get into position, so Korver is still able to come off the screens and hit the three. A minute later, the Cavs again run the double stagger, and this time Porzingis comes over a bit more to help on the screen, and that frees up Fry for the open three, and there's the advantage of having a stretch five. As we watch this play again, you can see the advantage of having LeBron orchestrate everything. So what he does is he points and directs Korver to curl the screen this time as he sees Fry will be open. Double stagger again, and once more Korver's gravity makes this play happen. So first off, the lane is completely open, and when Korver's coming off the double screen, that attracts the attention of both Capella and Ryan Anderson because Korver is such a threat. LeBron sees all of this and attacks the basket, and there's no help. The Cavs will also utilize Korver off of this sideline out of bounds play, and it's a simple one. He's just coming off a pin down, and what happens is when he's not open here, he gets it, passes it, but he doesn't stay still. He sets a screen away for Love, and while this is happening, the Cavs execute a pick and roll, fine, and while LeBron rolls to the basket, he's wide open because the weak side defenders for the Celtics are so occupied with Korver's screen, and LeBron gets an easy basket. That is textbook. Same sideline play, and the defense does completely top lock him here, making him use the screen incorrectly, and the offense does stagnate a bit, and if you're Korver, you don't want to be facing the top lock every time you come off a screen. The good news is the Cavs do a good job of countering top block by preventing its use and using Korver in different sets to get him open. The first instance we see this is with a variation with that sideline play. So Green doesn't set the pin down here, he'll set a screen for Korver to get going along the baseline. Then Korver will get a screen on the opposite side, and the reason this play works is now the defender guarding Korver is trailing him, not in position to perform top lock. Even though the Bucks switched that first screen, Brogdon is in no position to cut Korver off, and by his standards, Korver gets an open look. Another set that is very tough to top lock against is floppy. Simple set, Korver has an option of screens on both sides, and this makes Eric Gordon play behind Korver, because even if he did top lock Korver in one direction, Korver would simply go the other way. So Korver is able to come off the screens, he's doubled before he even gets the pass, so LeBron is able to find Green on the slip, though he can't convert. Floppy again, and when he comes off that screen and isn't open, what he does next we've seen before. So he passes it back on top, and he sets an away screen, keeping the defense active, and it completely distracts the two weak side defenders. Meanwhile, the Cavs are running a pick and roll on top, Jeff Green rolls to the basket, and he's able to get this pass and an easy dunk because the weak side defenders were dealing with a screen of their own. I also like when the Cavs use Floppy with Korver and JR together. They'll bunch together and run off separate sides, and that is very tough to defend as they're both great shooters, a little miscommunication, and it's an open three. This is a creative set. Basically, Korver will start on top and he'll run in a circle. He'll come off a double screen, and where he's really trying to score is with the single screen on the opposite side. And if you're thinking, wow, it must be really tough to chase Korver on this play, well, that's the point of it, because now there's no way Snell can top lock Korver on this final screen, and the Cavs draw a foul. The Bucks know this play is coming here, but it doesn't end up mattering. Giannis gets physical with Korver, preventing him from going the same direction, so Korver takes a different route. He goes down and then comes up on a different side for the pin down. His gravity allows Thompson to get open on the slip, and the Cavs get an easy bucket eventually. Here's another good play for Korver. It's misdirection as Fry acts as if he's setting a ball screen, but then he'll go set a pin down, and this catches Ariza by surprise as he trails Korver, allowing Korver to get a decent look. So it's clear Korver is effective coming off of screens, and that's where he's used most often, but he's also used as a screener in sets. The best way, a back screen for LeBron, and this makes it very tough on Korver's defender. Does he help? Does he switch? Here Snell decides to stay with Korver, so LeBron gets the alley-oop. Snell was very worried about Korver popping out and getting an open three. In the second half, the Cavs again ran this same back screen, and LeBron gets an easy basket. It's simple, but it's so tough to defend. Dellavedova could switch on to LeBron here, but you don't really want that either. This is a nice creative way to get into the back screen. It's the same set we saw earlier with Korver starting on top and running off that double screen, but this time instead of receiving the pin down, he'll set that back screen for LeBron. Remember, LeBron usually on this play has the ball up top, and Korver is held. Let's briefly talk about crunch time, because if Korver has it going late in the game, then they'll try to get it to him and work the play with him. So here it's JR, Korver, and Fry screening for each other on the weak side while LeBron has it in the post. This is tough to defend, and when LeBron kicks it out, it's very tough for the defense to scramble to all these shooters without making a mistake. Give Ty Lue credit. LeBron in the post with bunch screening action with three great shooters was a good idea, and here the screening action eventually results in a foul as Korver is held while the Cavs are in the bonus. Let's go over the main points. In transition and early offense, they actively tried to get it to him and set pin-in screens for him. They have sets to counter top block so he doesn't have to face a denial every time he tries to run off a screen. Their sets flow, so when Korver isn't open, he'll pass it and then screen away, and the offense works well off of that. He's utilized frequently. He doesn't just stand in the corner, but he's involved in the offense, and Korver creates great spacing and acts as a decoy on so many of the Cavs' possessions, and I didn't even really go into the impact he has spacing-wise, and that back screen for LeBron is deadly. Well, there you have it, guys. Against the very best defenses that can switch, some of Korver's actions aren't as effective as the defense can switch them. But against the rest of the NBA, they are extremely effective, and how the Cavs use Korver is pretty much the blueprint of how a team should use an off-ball shooter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.